You built a RAG pipeline. You ask it a question, it returns an answer, and it looks right. So you ship it. 2 weeks later, support tickets roll in. The chatbot told me I can cancel anytime, but the policy says 30-day notice. Your RAG retrieved the wrong document. The LLM made up a detail, and nobody caught it. It seems to work is not a shipping metric. You need to measure RAG quality the same way you measure uptime or latency. 3 numbers tell you whether your RAG is production ready: faithfulness, answer relevance, and context recall. First metric: faithfulness. Does the answer actually come from the retrieved context, or did the LLM hallucinate a detail? Here is a concrete example. A user asks, "What is the refund policy for annual plans?" Your retriever pulls the right document. It says prorated refund based on remaining months, minus a $50 processing fee. The LLM generates full refund within 30 days, no questions asked. That sounds great, except the source never said that. The LLM invented the 30-day window and dropped the processing fee. Faithfulness score 0.2 out of 1. That is a hard fail. A faithful answer would say, prorated refund for remaining months with a $50 processing fee. Every claim traces back to the source. Faithfulness score 0.95. You measure this by breaking the answer into individual claims, then checking each claim against the retrieved context. If 9 out of 10 claims are supported, your faithfulness is 0.9. Second metric: answer relevance. Does the answer address what the user actually asked? A user asks, "How do I set up SSO for my team?" The LLM returns, "SSO stands for single sign-on. It allows users to authenticate with one set of credentials across multiple applications. SSO improves security and user experience." Technically accurate, but the user asked how to set it up, not what it is. Answer relevance score 0.3. The answer is factual but misses the intent. A relevant answer would say, go to Settings, then Security, then SSO Configuration. Choose your provider, paste your SAML endpoint URL, upload the certificate, and click Enable. Direct, actionable, matches what the user asked. Answer relevance score 0.92. You measure this by generating a question from the answer, then comparing that generated question to the original. If someone reading only the answer would ask the same question, relevance is high. Third metric: context recall. Did we even retrieve the right documents? This one is about the retriever, not the LLM. A user asks, "What are the system requirements for the enterprise version?" Your ground truth answer mentions 4 things: 16 gigabytes RAM, 4 CPU cores, Ubuntu 20.04 or later, and PostgreSQL 14. Your retriever pulls back 3 chunks. Chunk 1 covers RAM and CPU requirements. Chunk 2 covers supported operating systems. Chunk 3 covers pricing tiers, which is irrelevant. 2 out of 4 ground truth items are covered. PostgreSQL 14 is missing entirely. Context recall 0.5. Half the information the user needs is not in the retrieved context. Even a perfect LLM cannot answer correctly if the right documents are not retrieved. This is why context recall matters. You measure it against a golden answer. For each statement in the golden answer, check if the retrieved context contains that information. If you want to learn how to do this yourself, I run free live sessions every Friday at noon Eastern. Scan the QR code on screen to join. Would love to see you there. Now you know the 3 metrics. But you do not have to build the scoring from scratch. Ragus is an open-source evaluation framework that measures all 3: faithfulness, answer relevance, and context recall, plus a few more. You give Ragus a question, the retrieved context, the generated answer, and optionally a ground truth answer. It returns scores from 0 to 1 for each metric. Think of it as unit tests for your RAG pipeline. You would not ship a feature without tests. Do not ship RAG without evaluation. Ragus also tracks context precision, which measures whether the most relevant documents are ranked highest, and answer correctness, which compares the generated answer against a known good answer. What scores should you target? Here is a practical benchmark from a PM perspective. Faithfulness. Aim for 0.85 or higher. Below 0.7 means the LLM is regularly making up details. That is a support ticket factory. Answer relevance. Aim for 0.8 or higher. Below 0.6 means your users are getting technically correct but useless answers. They will stop trusting the system. Context recall. Aim for 0.75 or higher. Below 0.5 means your retriever is missing half the relevant information. No LLM can fix bad retrieval. Green means ship it, amber means investigate and improve. Red means stop and fix before going live. These are starting benchmarks. Your specific thresholds depend on your domain. Medical and legal need higher faithfulness. Search-heavy products need higher context recall. Metrics are useless without a test suite. Here's how to build one. Start with 20 to 30 golden question-answer pairs. These are questions your users actually ask, paired with the correct answers you have manually verified. For each pair, store the question, the expected answer, and the expected source documents. Run your RAG pipeline on every question. Collect the retrieved context and generated answer. Feed all of it into RAG-as. You get a scorecard, faithfulness, answer relevance, context recall for each question. Average them for your overall scores. Store these results. Every time you change your chunking strategy, swap an embedding model, or update your prompt, rerun the test suite. If scores drop, revert. If scores improve, ship. The final piece. Evaluation is not a one-time check. It is a continuous loop. You start with your baseline scores. Then you make a change. Maybe you switch from fixed-size chunks to semantic chunking. You rerun the test suite. Context recall jumps from 0.62 to 0.78. Good. Ship it. Next change. You add a re-ranker. Faithfulness stays at 0.88. Answer relevance goes from 0.74 to 0.85. Ship it. Then you try a new prompt template. Faithfulness drops from 0.88 to 0.71. Revert. Every change goes through the same loop. Change, evaluate, compare, decide. This is how you go from "it seems to work" to "I can prove it works." That is the difference between a demo and a product. That's the full picture. If you want to go deeper, join my free live session this Friday at noon Eastern on Maven. I walk through this hands-on, answer questions, and show you how to build it yourself. Scan the QR code to join.